Hello everybody, welcome to the MaffmanJones movie channel. I'm your host John Maffio, and finally we're going to get into the nitty gritty of the movie that's got everybody talking because it's Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. I don't even want to waste any time because this video is going to be like 25 minutes long. Watch, it's like 5 minutes long. No, that's impossible. Before we get into anything else, a week before the movie came out, I wrote a couple really random predictions. And I have 12 questions here, or like statements about what's going to happen in the movie. And I'm just going to say whether they happened or not. Here we go. Number 1, Rey is related to Luke Skywalker. We still don't know that. I think it is true. I guess we'll find out in episode 8. Kylo is related to Han. It's 1. That's 1. 3, Snoke looks like a lizard. He doesn't look like a lizard. I don't know why I thought he was going to look like a reptile. Like a very reptilian, weird creature. He looks more human than anything else. With a giant scar on his face. 4. Luke is treading dark side waters. Or is already dead. / is Force Ghost / or kept captive by Kylo. Well, we don't know anything about if he's treading the dark side or not. Whether he's having internal struggles. But everything else there is wrong completely. God. 5. Kylo kills some characters. Yeah, he kills Max von Sydow and Han Solo. Harrison Ford. What a fucking monster murderer. 6. Poe and Rey started a platonic / romantic thing. No, but you know who does? Poe and Finn. The best bromance ever. 7. Finn sucks with a lightsaber but looks to be down the Jedi route by the end of the movie. Hell no! Oh, that was so wrong. I mean, he sucked with a lightsaber, but he's not going down a Jedi route, that's for sure. 8. BB-8. Wow, that was a weird convenience. BB-8 and the number 8 fact. BB-8 saves heroes' lives somehow, like R2 in A New Hope with the garbage dispenser. Did he? 9. Multiple characters from the original trilogy are referenced. Lando, Obi-Wan, and Yoda were my 3 in parentheses. Apparently, Obi-Wan and Yoda are both referenced in the movie, so I was flipping right. Yeah! Lando Calrissian, though? I guess we'll have to find out for a future movie. Possibly. Because Billy D. Williams could use a paycheck. 10. Rey's staff is a lightsaber. We still don't know anything about this damn staff, but I'm still willing to bet it is. 11. Millennium Falcon is destroyed. Sad face. No, it's not, but it goes through a lot of hell. It goes through a lot of trees, hits the ground a lot. It goes through a lot of, trouble. And 12. This is just a general statement. Tears will be shed. No, I didn't cry. I did. No. Now let's move on to a segment I like to call Character Talk. It's a segment where we're going to, or at least I'm going to, because I'm by myself. We're going to talk about the characters, but I'm going to go from least amount of impact to most amount of impact. So let's start with Max von Sydow's character, who basically, I thought he was going to be like a Jedi or some kind of character with significance for the entire plot. Turns out he's in the movie for like 5 minutes, not even. He gets slashed away by Kylo Ren. Yeah. But what he did do was give Poe Dameron a little piece of the map that reveals where Luke Skywalker was, and he believed that there needs to be a balance in the Force. So whatever was up with him, maybe we'll get more with him in flashbacks in the 8th movie, maybe. But it's weird that you cast an actor of that caliber to kill him off right away. Captain Phasma, played by Gwendolyn Christie of Game of Thrones fame. She's barely in the movie. She gets tackled by Chewbacca. Finn yells in her face, "I'm the captain now!" That was a really strange Captain Phillips reference that I didn't intend to do. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll get more of her in the next movie. But she looked cool. Yeah, she looked cool. Poe Dameron. Heard they were going to kill him in the first act of the movie in the first draft of the script for Force Awakens. Thank God they didn't do that, because Oscar Isaac oozes charisma. This character oozes potential for the future, and I love everything about him. Like I said in my review, he seems like a perfect guy you could just hang out with at a bar and talk for hours about anything. Like, literally, He's the coolest dude. He's one of the most fearsome pilots, or the most fearsome pilot in the Resistance. And there's a lot that you could do with his character, I think. You can give him more backstory in future films. And his romance with Finn that has been blossoming over this film is something that I hope develops further in future movies, because Finn and Poe, forget real romance. We got a bromance that is just stunningly glowing. Lupita Nyong'o played Maz Kanata. As BuzzFeed described her character, a dried apricot. She's basically like the Yoda of this film. She's wise, she's old, she wears these goggles, and she has a quote. She says, "If you've lived long enough, you see the same eyes in different people." And, I guess she's a cool character. I like her. I just think that she does have an impact on the story, and she does have information that she's withholding. It's literally a part in the movie where she has a lazy piece of screenwriting where she says, "I'll answer that another time," when Han asks, "How'd you get Luke's lightsaber?" Snoke, played by Andy Serkis. Now, when we first see this character in the movie, he's like 2 or 3 stories tall. He's like the size of a freaking townhouse. And it's like, as awesome as that is, at the same time, I was thinking to myself, if he's really this big, how are our heroes going to fight him? Like, they could just slash his legs, right? Or does he have a lightsaber that's just as big as him? Like, he would kill them all. But, then you realize that it's a hologram. I'm thinking he's really, in real perspective and reality, like 6 or 7 feet tall. Like, he's tall, but he's not going to be like a flippin' Empire State Building level of size. I like his design. I think he sounds uninspired. Just seems like a voice that you would hear out of any typical villain. Like, deep voice. Bring the girl to me. But, whatever. I think visually he looks really cool. I can't wait to see how powerful he is in the future. Because back in the day, I bet people didn't even understand what was happening when the Emperor started using Force Lightning. Imagine this guy has something crazier than that. But you can argue that he's going to be that big in reality too. That he's going to be the size of like a 2-story building. If he is like that, he could basically just take Luke Skywalker and go, squish! He could take Rey and Finn and he can just go, squish! He can kill everybody. Like this. Let's move on to Finn, played by John Boyega. He's one of my favorite characters of the whole movie. I didn't know what to expect from this character. All we really knew was that he was a stormtrooper. So the whole story is that he was a stormtrooper who didn't believe in what he was doing. He was taken from a family he'll never know and raised to fight and kill. And I guess on his first expedition, when he goes to the village where they kill Max von Sydow and they capture Poe Dameron, he's like, I'm not feeling this shit, and he wants to escape. And he escapes with Poe Dameron, and they start their bromance, and then it continues from there. And I really like this character. He's full of charisma as well, just like Poe Dameron, and he has a lot of fun things to say. Some of the things he says don't feel Star Wars-y, like he curses, he'll say damn it and hell, and he'll talk about, you have a boyfriend, you have a cute boyfriend. But like certain lines are weird for Star Wars coming from him, but I like that dynamic, that we have a different character who's speaking more like an American when he's actually British in real life. They marketed him to be like the Jedi of the movie, but it turns out he sucks with a lightsaber. He fights one stormtrooper who has something that can actually repel against a lightsaber, and he gets his ass whooped. And then he fights Kylo Ren at the end, and he gets sliced up in half. And I thought he died at the end. But it turns out he's okay, he has a pulse. He got a lightsaber up his spine. He's not walking away out of that clean easily. But I like what's going on with him and Rey too. They have like this platonic sibling friendship, and it's really sweet, honestly. And I really hope they don't stay separated too long in the next movie. But I feel like they are going to be, because it's going to be spent mostly with Rey and Luke Skywalker training. Speaking of training, let's segue into a character that has not completed his, Kylo Ren. I really like the twist that he is Han and Leia's son. And I think it really added to the family dynamic of the Star Wars universe. And people complain that it makes the universe small, but the movies have always been about family, so it makes sense. And it brings an emotional core to the film. And when Kylo Ren kills Han Solo, his flippin' father, the first time I saw that scene, I've seen it 3 times now, I've seen the movie 3 times. The first time, I was shaking like a leaf. He's trying to imitate Darth Vader. He wants to be like his grandfather, or more powerful than his grandfather. He has insecurity issues about being more powerful than Darth Vader, and he kind of sucks. Apparently he's going to train with Snoke. It would be cool, in my opinion, if we have a little, like, Rocky montage thing going, where we see, for most of the movie, we see Rey and Luke training on the light side, and you have Snoke and Kylo training on the other side. Or maybe they're going to skip both of those and just go right to the part where they're both awesome at what they do. We'll have to see. But we definitely got to get more from Luke Skywalker. We'll talk about that in a little bit. However, Kylo Ren's a really awesome character who is a jerk. All the fans hate him in a good way. I hate him, but I love him. Cool character. Let's talk about Rey. First of all, Daisy Ridley, first acting performance in such a huge movie, pulls it off greatly. She has all the nuances in a performance that shows you that she's a real person and character. And all little things, like even like the part where like she makes a little muffin, the Insta muffin. Like I thought that was cool. She has little like figures that she made of like Luke Skywalker in a little rebel outfit, and she sleeps in an AT-AT. She's basically just waiting for her family. Now, who's her family? That's the whole thing. We still don't know. We get a little flashback when she touches the lightsaber of a couple things, but the most important part, in my opinion, was when you see her as a little girl being dragged away by Simon Pegg's character, who, by the way, Simon Pegg played that one who gives away the portions, the big alien. Really cool. But you see a ship going away. She's like, "No, come back, no!" Who's in that ship? I think it's Luke Skywalker. Who else could it be? If she was Han and Leia's kid, you'd think they would have said something, right? There's a part where she says her name to Han when they're on Maz Kanata's planet, and Han has this little moment of reflection where he like moves his eyes a little bit weirdly, and he goes, okay, you want a job on the Millennium Falcon, kid?" I think they know that she's somebody's daughter, but they don't want to say it. It's kind of weird. I hope they explain it really well in the next movie. But maybe that's not the big twist. Maybe they know that their audience is smart and they won't make it a big deal. Maybe like the first 5 minutes of the movie, you'll find out, oh, she's Luke's daughter. It's like, okay, that's what we knew. Let's move on to the good stuff. Pretty sure she's Luke's daughter. She was really strong with the Force. Really strong with the Force. She learned really quickly how to, utilize it. Jedi mind tricks, the Force, everything. Like, she was really powerful. And in a way, I dig it, but at the same time, it's like, how did she learn how to be that powerful that quickly? And that leads me to believe more so, even more so, that she is Luke Skywalker's daughter, because Luke Skywalker is one of the most powerful Jedi. He's the last real Jedi, so we know, in the galaxy. She didn't develop strength like that from Leia. Leia has the Force too, yes, but Luke Skywalker is much more powerful, and it's a weird sibling DNA genes thing, but I'm pretty sure you gotta be. It has to be. And finally, Luke Skywalker. We see him in the last minute of the movie in probably one of my favorite scenes. It might be my favorite scene of the whole movie because there's no dialogue in it. It's just Rey walking up steps, finding Luke Skywalker, and then they look at each other for like 30 seconds. He does like 20,000 facial expressions, and he says so much in just those like 10 seconds of screen time. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Something is definitely up with him, and I have a theory that I feel like it's been tossed around, but I have a theory that we're going to learn more about Luke's past in the next movie. When he was making the new Jedi Academy and he was training these kids, he fell in love with somebody. And it might be, apparently according to the Expanded Universe, it was a person named Mara Jade, but he maybe fell in love with somebody who is akin to the Force. And they made sweet love, and they had a kid, aka Rey. And amongst all this, when she was a little kid, like she is in the flashback, Kylo Ren, who is 10 years older or so than Rey, which I'm going to predict, goes crazy. He's the one rebellious one who kills everybody in the academy, including Luke Skywalker's lover/wife-to-be, possibly. And this just sends him into a spiral, emotional spiral, that makes him feel like he has to send Rey away because he wants her to be protected. And he just Jedi wipes her with memories, misconstrues her memories of him, and makes her believe that he is a myth, and then goes and travels off and tries to find the first Jedi Temple. It's safe to say that Luke Skywalker is having internal conflicts and struggles. Something is wrong with him. That's why he's been just trying to be alone, and he's not going to be as wise as... He's obviously wise, but he's not going to be as calm as Yoda. He was very meditated and calm. Luke may be wise from all of his experiences, throughout the past 3 movies and the 30 years in between Return and Force Awakens, but he's having some issues. He has some issues that he's got to deal with, and I think it's going to be really emotionally powerful, potentially, to see Rey deal with her struggles and Luke deal with his potential struggles. Can't wait. I cannot wait. And I just wrote these things down too. These are moments or things that I actually enjoyed very much so in the film. The opening crawl. First line of the movie. In the crawl, Luke Skywalker has vanished. The first time I saw that, I was like, what? That's a great way to get your audience, no matter who it is, into the movie. Because you're suddenly already invested in where is Luke Skywalker? Where is he? Opening shot. It was a little bit of a homage to the original movie with the Star Destroyer covering the planet, but it was a really awesome shot with the music and everything. BB-8 was a really cute droid. Just BB-8 in general, and he had a really significant role in the plot. As much as it was a little bit convenient that this guy had a piece of the map to Luke Skywalker, and that R2-D2 happened to just wake up and be like, oh, look, I have the rest of the map, so we could just put it together. But we found Luke! And every time R2-D2 and BB-8 were on screen together, it was like a match made in heaven. They are both adorable. It's too much cuteness. It's cuteness overload. I was a fan of all the action sequences in the movie. The part where Rey and Finn find a Millennium Falcon and they get chased by the 2 TIE fighters and they go through the Star Destroyer and they're like trying to figure out how to fly and operate the Falcon. Oh man, genius. The whole fight on Maz Kanata's planet was really cool too. I really liked the lightsaber fight between Finn and the one stormtrooper who was like, traitor! The return of Poe Dameron, who you have that one tracking shot where he's just taking out all the TIE fighters and then Finn comes into the frame at some point. Loved that shot. And then everything on Starkiller Base, the emotions, the thrills, the lightsaber fight was great. Everything about that lightsaber fight, emotionally, physically, viscerally, was just so compelling. At first, you're supposed to believe that Finn is the guy who's going to do this. And then he gets his ass whooped. When you see Rey become, who she's going to become, and like potentially like a Jedi, and her first steps going towards the Jedi route, like, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. And seeing her kick Kylo Ren's ass after he kills his father is like one of the most emotionally satisfying moments I've had in the theater this year. I love that scene so much. And I did not have a problem at all with the whole Starkiller Base thing being really similar to New Hope with the Death Star. I actually like the fact that they kind of mixed in a lot of the old elements of the plot for this new movie. Because it brings you back to that familiarity with the franchise, with the movies that you grew up and loved. The scene with General Hux giving that Hitler and Nazi-esque speech before they destroy the Republic government in the 5 planets. I love that scene. It was a little short scene and moment that just really captivated me, and it really scared the shit out of me. Again, I want to mention Han's death, which I guess they had to kill somebody in this movie who was significant to the plot. But, how many movies was this guy going to do? Harrison Ford, as great as an actor as he is, I'm sure he would have been up for another movie or two, but it seemed like it fit in the story to have him die, and people were complaining that it was a little predictable, and that you could kind of see it coming, and you could, but it doesn't take away from the fact that the whole scene was choreographed beautifully, between the light coming in, and the catwalk, and Adam Driver and Harrison Ford having really great character moments acting together in that scene. I love that scene. I love the interaction between father and son. And like right before Han falls, he caresses his son's face for one last time. Like it's ugh. And now let's go into one last segment that I like to call
What's Next?
What's Next? Episode 8. It's a year and a half away. And the movie ends with Luke Skywalker and Rey about to talk about something. Like, there's so much that could be said between them in that moment. But, Episode 8, being directed by Rian Johnson. Now, if Disney is giving Rian Johnson some pretty good control, and I'm guessing they are because he's writing a script for Episode 9 too, which is going to be directed by Colin Trevorrow, the guy who made Jurassic World. We're going to get more character development, more slow-paced scenes that develop our characters, and less of the fast-paced motion that happened in this movie. Rian Johnson, I could see bringing the film down a notch. Not in a bad way, in a good way. Slowing the movie down so we could learn a lot more and really take in the emotions more. I think there's a lot of ways it can go. No matter what, I feel like we're going to get into the training aspect between the light side and the dark side. We're going to get a lot of Luke Skywalker and Rey, and we're going to get a lot of Snoke and Kylo Ren. Or what they could do is just completely skip over all of that and just get to the part, like I said before, where they're both in tune with the Force more, and they're going to have a big fight at the end. Kylo and Rey again. But we're going to learn a lot about Luke Skywalker in the next movie. Where he's been, what he's doing, what he wants to do. Kylo Ren's going to be a lot more powerful in the next movie, and I think he's going to go the full evil route. Snoke, maybe not where he's come from, but what his motivation is, what he wants to do with the First Order, and what he's planning to do. I think he's just fucking with Kylo Ren. I think he's just using him for a bigger plan, and he's planning on just scrapping him. And by scrapping, I mean killing him at some point. And Kylo Ren is just too ignorant to know that because he just wants to be a powerful Sith. Finn's gonna recover in the Resistance base, and he and Poe Dameron, who's on the Resistance base, they're gonna have a lot of interaction and development, and they're gonna blossom their bromance further. I heard Finn might have a possible love interest, and I think that love interest might be somebody who works at the base, who is helping him recover. I don't see where Leia's going to fit into the story a lot. I think she will definitely play a part when everybody finds out where Luke is, and she's going to want to talk to her brother, yeah, but I can't figure out right now how she's going to fit in. But all of this is going to come to a head at the end of the movie. We're going to have a giant climax where we have Snoke, Luke, Rey, Finn, Poe. They're all, at least those characters are all going to be in the same location, and there's going to be at least one big lightsaber fight that's going to end in somebody dying. I can see them killing Poe Dameron because he's been such a likable character that to bring him and Finn closer only to take him away. Imagine Finn watching his best friend being killed in front of his eyes and then being exiled for being a traitor to the First Order. That would be fucked up. But Star Wars, people also speculating that one of the big twists in Episode 8 might be that we're going to start seeing a reflective arc where Rey becomes more of a Sith, and we see the redeeming arc in Kylo Ren where he's going to become a Jedi. Like, we're going to see a flip of the script. I don't believe that at all. They're not going to make Rey a bad guy. No way. But it would be cool, though. It would be cool. And that's it for my spoiler talk of Star Wars The Force Awakens. If I missed anything, which I obviously missed something. Oh, I did miss something. Hold on. Oh, hi there! It's me, C-3PO! You may not recognize me because of the red arm. If I missed anything significant that you want to talk about, let me know in the comments down below. Let's start a big discussion on this movie. If you enjoyed this spoiler video, please like this video, subscribe to the channel. May the Force be with you all. I'm John Maffio, aka MaffmanJones, and I'll see you guys next time.